Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will discuss about McLeod and Pirani gauge for vacuum pressure measurement. So let's start the topic. First we will discuss about McLeod gauge. Here I have mentioned its symbolic representation. In this topic we are going to cover working principle, construction, operation, advantage, disadvantages and its cost. So let's move further. Herbert McLeod is a scientist invented this instrument. Basically, it is used to measure very low pressures. In the beginning, it is commonly attached to many instruments that works under vacuum such as lyophilizer. Lyophilizer is an instrument used to preserve matters to extend its shelf life. McLeod gauge is looks like manometer. It is filled with mercury. Basic purpose of McLeod gauge is to extend the range of vacuum measurement. It can measure vacuum pressure between 10 raised to minus 1 to 10 raised to minus 5 torr. It is used as reference device to calibrate other pressure gauges. So, how can we measure vacuum pressure by this? And what is the working principle of it? For that, taking a known volume of gas, then we compress it. This pressure in this smaller volume is measured by mercury manometer. By knowing compression ratio, we can find actual vacuum pressure P2 by applying Boyle's law. So, we can conclude its working principle in a way that it operates by taking a low pressure gas of known volume into a smaller volume so that its pressure is sufficiently higher enough to be read the resultant final volume and pressure provide the indication of applied low pressure. Construction of McLeod gauge consists a reservoir that contains mercury. A reference column and a bulb is also attached to it. To raise or lower the level of mercury into the reference column and bulb, a plunger is attached on the top of the reservoir. The point of connection of bulb and column is the cutoff point. The other end of the reference column is open to vacuum pressure and it has a reference capillary. Capillary is a smaller diameter tube. The reference column is attached to a measuring capillary, which is a sealed chamber and from which the final volume of gas is read. So now let's start about its operation. As discussed earlier, now we will discuss about operation. As discussed earlier, McLeod gauge is based on Boyle's law. Now we are deriving the equation of measurement of vacuum pressure. Here we can see that equation PV is equal to PCVC. PV is a pressure and volume of gas before compression and PCVC is the pressure and volume of gas after compression. Here we can see that the unknown vacuum pressure source is connected to the reference column and the pressure is applied. The level of mercury is adjusted so that it at the opening or cutoff point. Now the unknown pressure P fills the bulb and capillary. The volume of unknown pressure is the volume of bulb and capillary which is given by V. The mercury is forced into the bulb and capillary by operating the plunger. Once the level of mercury crosses the cutoff point, it stops the entry of applied pressure into the bulb and measuring capillary. The level of mercury is reached until it reaches the zero reference point. After compressing gas, pressure Pc is equal to P plus H. Vc is equal to ACH. Here, H is the difference in height of mercury in reference and measuring capillary. AC is the area of the cross section of measuring capillary after compression. By applying Boyle's law, PV is equal to P plus H into ACH is equal to P into ACH plus ACH square. Here we can see that ACH is far away less than V. We can verify it by figure mentioned in working principle. Here we can see that Hc is much lesser than above bulb volume. So, a non-vacuum pressure is given by this formula P is equal to ACH square upon V. Here, some of the merits of McLeod gauge is mentioned. It is inexpensive, working on mechanical principle, non-electric device used for calibrating other low pressure gauges, etc. are advantages of this instrument. The main disadvantage of this instrument is it is useful for measuring pressure of true gases that obey Boyle's law. Used by only skilled operator, cannot give continuous output. But however, these gauges have largely been replaced by electronic vacuum gauges. Cost is varies between 3000 to 12,000 Indian rupees in today's market price. Here I have mentioned some of the technical specification of this instrument. Thank you so much. This is from my side about McLeod gauge.
Now we will talk about another very important vacuum pressure measurement device, that is Pirani gauge. So the Pirani gauge is the most commonly used vacuum measuring principle in the vacuum industry today. It has earned its popularity because of its robustness, low cost and wide dynamic measurement range. It is a robust thermal conductivity gauge used for the measurement of pressures in vacuum systems or in a very low pressure region. About its history. So it was invented in 1906 by Marcello Parani. Back then he was working in a manufacturing unit of the lamp industry. In that industry, McLeod vacuum gauges were used for measurement of vacuum level during air evacuation process and the gas filling of the light bulbs. So as we have earlier discussed about the McLeod gauges, they contain large amount of liquid mercury. So that gauge is made of glass, and consequently broken McLeod gauges were common on the lamp manufacturing floor, with toxic mercury liquid and vapor exposed to the surroundings and workers' environment as a result. This, Marcello Pirani was determined to find an alternative solution to overcome the toxicity and the hazardous nature of the McLeod gauge, and noted that using thermal conductivity for low pressure measurement was a promising approach. The Pirani gauge solved the challenges and problems with mercury hazards. However, the gas dependency of the measurement of thermal conductivity required that the gauge was calibrated to the gas or gas mixture being used. The above we can see the figure of the Pirani gauge which he used. Talk about the main parts of the arrangement. So first one is the Pyrenees gauge chamber, which encloses a platinum filament. Second one is a compensating cell to minimize variation caused due to the ambient temperature changes. The Pyrenees gauge chamber and the compensating cell is housed on a Wheatstone bridge circuit. About the working. First, a constant current is passed through the filament in the Pyrenees gauge chamber. Due to this current, the filament gets heated and assumes a resistance which is measured using the bridge. Now the pressure to be measured, that is the applied pressure, is connected to the Pyrenees gauge chamber. As the gas pressure is reduced, the number of molecules present will fall proportionally and the wire will lose heat more quickly. Above we can see the diagram representation of that. It will also consider sensor tube, sensor wire and the outlet to the vacuum system and the electric feed-through. Conductivity of the surrounding media in turn depends on the density of the surrounding media. If the density of the surrounding media is low, its conductivity also will be low, causing the wire to become hotter for a given current flow. When the temperature of the filament changes, the resistance of the filament also changes. Now the change in resistance of the filament is determined using the bridge. This change in resistance of the Pyrenees gauge filament becomes a measure of the applied pressure when calibrated. We must note that higher pressure will lead to higher density, which will lead to higher conductivity, which will lead to reduced filament temperature, which will lead to less resistance of the filament, and the vice versa condition can also apply. Measuring the heat loss is an indirect indication of pressure. The electric resistance of a wire varies with its temperature, so the resistance indicates the temperature of a wire. In many systems, the wire is maintained at constant resistance by controlling the voltage through the wire. The resistance can be set using a bridge circuit and the voltage required to achieve this balance is therefore a measure of the vacuum. The block diagram of Pyrenees gauge: first block consists of the Wheatstone arrangement, second block consists of the filament arrangement, third consists of the output region. So now we will talk about the details. The gauge may be used for pressures between 0.5 torr to the 10 to the raised to minus 4 torr. The thermal conductivity and the heat capacity of the gas affects the readout from the meter, and therefore the apparatus may need calibrating before accurate readings are obtainable. For lower pressure measurement, the thermal conductivity of the gas becomes increasingly smaller and more difficult to measure accurately. Other instruments such as penny gauge are used instead. In order to characterize or calibrate such vacuum gauges, we can use mercury manometers or capacitance diagram. We'll talk about the further developments. In 1993, Pyrenees gauges based on MEMS, that is micro electrical mechanical system, the sensor technology were introduced. The improved design resulted in a wider measurement range and better overall performance. Nowadays, the digital and analog type of Pyrenees gauges are mostly used. The Pyrenees vacuum measurement technology invented more than 100 years ago is still improving, and the technology is being developed to enhance performance and extend the usable application for the heat loss Pyrenees gauge. We will discuss the advantages first. They are rugged and inexpensive, give accurate results, good response to the pressure changes, relation between pressure and resistance is linear for the range of use, readings can be taken from a distance. Now we will discuss the limitation first. They must be checked frequently, they must be calibrated from different gauges, electric power is a must for this operation. The alternative to the Pyrenees gauge is the thermocouple gauge, which works on the same principle of detecting thermal conductivity of the gases by a change in temperature. In the thermocouple gauge, the temperature is censored by a thermocouple rather than by the change in the resistance of the heated bar. We will discuss about the specification and the cost. Here we will take different models of Inficon company's Pyrenees gauges. This is the brochure provided by them about their specification. This is what we all need to take care while buying the Pyrenees gauges. Various specification of the gauges. Here we can see that accuracy is nearly plus minus 15% of the reading, repeatability is 2% of the reading, measurement range is 10 to the power minus 4 to 1000 m bar, hysteresis is 10% of the lower threshold. Specification, it shows our response time which is in 80 milliseconds, weight, temperature ranges, power consumption which is about less than a watt, mounting orientation and the materials exposed to the vacuum. See the digital Pyrenees gauge in the Amazon site for the buying. Here they provide the measuring range, they provide power supply, and they also give various accessories like O-ring, main coils, and sensors. We can see the average price of the Pyrenees gauge is about 10,000. These are the references. That's all from my side about the Pyrenees gauge. For watching.